Hi everyone, just thought I'd do a quick little video. I made this bed cage up for the back of my F150. Couple of reasons for it is, first of all, my truck is a diesel with the full Raptor suspension. So fiberglass panels from Fiberworks. It's a bit dirty at the moment. It's got the beadlock wheels, factory wheels. It's got the Fox shocks, and that's where the problem started. The rear shocks, because I don't have the 4-inch block in the back of this truck like the Raptors do, it has a factory, I think it's about a 1-inch block, which is just a stock, what they call a spacer. The Fox shocks were too compressed for normal driving down the road, and I didn't want to put a 4-inch block in the back because the truck probably wouldn't fit into my garage. At the moment it sits level with the stock rear springs with the Fox shocks and the full Raptor front suspension. The truck sits level, which is nice. But the shocks, because they were running a little bit in the compressed part of the stroke, they were actually using the stiffer part of the valving in the shocks, which sometimes made the back a little bit bumpy when you're driving down the road. So what I needed to do is relocate the shocks up a little bit to get them into the right part of the stroke and not lose any wheel travel. So what I did is the back shock here is relocated up into the bed cage. As you can see, the shock's back down in there. And I also wanted to relocate the spare wheel forward so it wasn't hanging out over the back, just to keep that up out of the way. If it's under the back, it can get damaged from stuff that you run over off-road. So I wanted to mount the full-size Raptor spare with the BFG tyre on it into the back. But also I wanted to be able to mount the dirt bikes for when we go down to Baja. So 3 reasons to build this cage up. I can fit 2 bikes in. It keeps the bikes right over to one side. So as you can see here, the handlebar line is still a little bit over from the center of the truck, which allows me to put 2 bikes in comfortably without them banging together. And the bikes are locked in place because the rails hold it in. And then of course the tie down straps. It's got a tie down strap across for the spare wheel. Welded the mounts in at an angle so that they went across to hold the tie down. And also too wanted it to fit in nicely up under this lip here. So bent the tubes up, bolted it in. It's bolted in 4 places using the factory mounts. I think you can see it down in there. Around the other side here, we have mounted the front shock, which they're staggered to stop wheel hops. So if you're trying to do a burnout or something, they tend to hop a little bit. So the other one's mounted. That's the original location there. Shocks do work better nearly vertical, so being on an angle like that, they don't work as well as what they do when they're more vertical. So now they're more vertical and in the right part of the stroke. Also too, when it's bottom the suspension out, because I don't have that block in the spacer, it can actually go right down further till the bump stop actually hits the axle. I could even put a shorter bump stop on because I've got a little bit of extra clearance through the travel of the shock. So sort of solving 3 problems with one cage. So yeah, the bike fits in here really nice. Just rolls in there, holds the spare tire, holds the bikes. In the back here, I'm going to probably cut a little bit out of the center of the box here and put a big bucket sort of thing in here that can hold the fuel cans, so that they're in the truck but secure, so if I do happen to go off-road with the bikes in the back, we don't start losing shit out the back. So yeah, bend all the steel up here. It's made out of the same steel that's used in roll cages. I think it's 1.5 0.12 or something like that. It measures about 3.1 millimeters wall thickness, which is plenty enough and plenty rigid for what I'm doing here. Bent it up on this this bender here that I got from this company. It's exactly the same as, I believe, the JD3 bender. Works exactly the same, but is substantially cheaper, so quite happy with the result of that. It bends the pipe really nice. You can do shock hoops and things like that with it, and bumper bars and all sorts of stuff. Easy to use. It comes unassembled. I assembled it up, and yeah, it's a great bit of gear. So there it is, folks. Bed cage for the back, a useful bed cage, not just there for show, in the back of a F150 diesel Raptor, I guess, because it has got the full suspension on it. So yeah, any questions, just post it down in the comments, and more than happy to answer. Thanks.